Hi, everyone. I'm Teresa Lisum, coming to you today with my amazing guest co host, Christine Smith. Welcome, Christine. We're so glad you're here. And we're evolving women. I'm evolving, you're evolving, we're all evolving, and we're on this journey of evolution together. So, to help us with that journey, we're here to share uplifting messages, offer new perspectives, offer some tools, some resources, some mindset shifts, plant some new seeds so that we all evolve together faster. We're also here to give you permission to be your best self. So, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
So nice to be here.
Laughing. Uh, Laughing connects us in special ways, ways that I never would have considered years and years ago. But it has a way of bringing people together, even if you don't know them. But my guest co host, Christine Smith, laughter brought us together. And just the fact that I saw that she was a laughter yoga leader was enough to attract me to her because I too am a laughter yoga leader. So we're here today to talk about laughter, laughing, and the benefits. And we'll just see where our conversation goes. So, welcome, Christine. So
Thank-
glad to have you here.
Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure to have you. So I know we have talked a lot before this. We can follow so many paths here. But I want to ask you, because I know you've done some research on this, the difference between humor and laughter, because I'm all about laughter and I like, I'm just all about the fun, but I know there's some people that are really serious about their humor and their laughter. And so I want to hear what your thoughts are on laughter versus humor. Are they the same? Are they different? Do they weave together? Please share.
Well, first, I want to say that I'm like you. I enjoy the pure energy of laughter. Laughter for
Mhm.
the fun, the silliness, the lightheartedness, like children.
Yes,
Children just
yes,
have.
yes.
And to me, that is really the most fun. What
Hmm.
I have learned, though, as I've been working with the laughter yoga and different people, for many people, they need the humor, they need the trigger, something to generate laughter,
Hmm.
and they equate laughter and humor as the same thing. However, definition in the dictionary, laughter is a sound. It doesn't have anything to do with thinking. If you think about children,
Wow.
children aren't, 1, 2 year olds, they're not laughing, they're not thinking, but they're laughing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Dictionary tells us that humor is a cognitive activity. There's something that triggers a response. There's something that, oh, we didn't expect that to happen, and that triggers our laughter, the sound, laughter. And so I really just go based on dictionary definitions. Literally one is a cognitive activity as well as the expression of laughter, and the other doesn't require your brain.
Wow. Maybe that's why I enjoy laughing so much. I don't have to think.
And in fact, when we're laughing, we're not thinking. I mean,
Yeah, that's fascinating. Just that little bit you shared that laughter is a sound, whereas humor is more up in your head. Wow, that is so interesting.
and in reality, when we're going to a comedian, performance show, or we're watching something, we are to some extent engaging the brain, and yet it's rewiring it because they're saying things in a way we don't normally talk or we don't think.
Hmm.
So it does help us think outside the box. And it can be just as, not, let me back up because research says when you laugh heartily, continuously, you get more physical benefits of laughter.
Hmm.
With both that kind of, sustained hearty laughter, you get
Hmm.
also the mental and emotional benefits. When you're engaging in something related to humor or as a result of humor, you're still getting mental and emotional benefits. You just may not be getting the full depth of physical benefits like decreasing blood pressure and boosting your immune system and things like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been on the, this thing where I've been watching different comedians on YouTube. Of course, I keep feeding them to me once you hit on something. And you're right, it's all about getting you to see new perspectives or the littlest nuances, little activities of life that are funny that we don't realize. But you're right, it is about thinking and finding the humor in what's going on around us, which is a cognitive process. Wow. I mean, we are laughing, we are creating sound, but it's almost coming after the thought comes into your head or after you hear what they're saying.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so
Mm,
fascinating.
that is
There's so many
fascinating.
different, type senses of humor. There's everything from the lighthearted to the more sarcastic, which, is what it is, my favorite, but and just so many variations that it can, it's a science unto itself. I mean, I call it a
Hmm.
science, but only because it's so mental to for me to get into that mindset that I don't enjoy that so much as just laughing.
Right, right. We don't want it to be that hard.
But for some people, it's not that hard, and they're the ones doing it. Yay for them.
Yeah, yeah, I'm like you. I just want to not think and just be in the moment and just laugh for the heck of it. Laugh for the health of it, as we say in the laughter yoga world. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. And can I ask you how you got into this, how you were introduced to this? You can, go into whatever aspect of it that you want, but because it's not something that some people can be very silly through their entire life, and then others grow up and be adults and like, I can't do that anymore. I can't laugh and be silly because adults don't do that, which is so sad. From this perspective, I'm like, oh man, that's the wrong way to think. But how did you come to it? Were you a laughy, laughy person your whole life, or did you have to invite it into your life?
I needed to invite it into my life. And so the interesting thing is, I was a clown for a while because I was drawn to this. I want to just laugh and play. And it was what, I kind of knew about.
Hmm.
And so Ohio even had an Ohio clown school that I went to in the 90s. Graduated from that, created my whole clown character, the makeup, the whole nine yards.
Hmm.
And again, like you say, it kind of gets put aside because it
Hmm.
wasn't something that I wanted to do performance, like going to birthday parties and perform.
Hmm.
And so anyway, that went off to the side. And I've always been interested in health and wellness. And so I first heard about laughter yoga in 2008. And I was working in a hospital. I was living in Denver at the time. My manager actually supported my going to this laughter yoga certification program so that I could then lead laughter yoga for employees in the hospital.
Hmm.
And it was great fun. And we did it at lunchtime. Employees could just drop in. It lasted for a few months. And then as people are engaged in work and it's their lunchtime,
Hmm.
participation
Yeah.
fell off.
Yeah.
So it also fell off my radar. I would attend laughter yoga sessions when I could, but then I moved around. Um, I ended up in Cincinnati. I was working in a corporate job. And so I was like, I'm going to do a little laughter again. I went to some local programs, but I would try to do it at work and nobody would even come, or, they'd come once and just roll their eyes.
Hmm.
And that job was getting to the point where I'm just not a corporate person. That was never my goal, and things are changing again. And I thought it's time to leave. So, having lived in Cleveland previously, I moved back to Cleveland because I like it here. And yet, I was exploring, what do I really want to do? So, I was taking jobs in nonprofits, and they were part time, and I needed a little more money, and just managing the benefits in life. I did get a job then doing some training and development again. It was in a mental health focused organization. And 9 months later, the pandemic started and I was laid off my job. So I was like, all right, I'm not in a great space. What do I need to do? And somehow laughter popped up, to
Mm.
the realm of, And I discovered that the founder of Laughter Yoga, Dr. Kataria, had just written a book a couple of years before I got that. And it reminded me of all the amazing health benefits of laughter and the activities, so many testimonials to just re-energize. And there was a concept in the book that I had not learned in 2008. And that was you can laugh on your own. And I,
Mm.
huh. And it goes back to laughter's a sound,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
making the sound. And so literally I was making face masks for family and friends. And so I'm sewing and I'm going, ha 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 ha. You keep that going and it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It gets me, for me, helps with my breathing, when you're
Mm-hmm.
stressed, so I would put on my stopwatch. I'd keep doing that, and I literally was feeling better. I would even take videos,
Mm. Oh, that's
whatever I could
neat.
do to get myself to lighten up. And then I was like, I don't want to laugh alone. I don't have family and friends around Cleveland. um, but one of my sisters was willing to ask some of her colleagues to get together. We did laughter yoga on Zoom.
Mm.
And that was just like magical. We had so much fun. And as I was trying to figure out what am I going to do now with my life, I decided to start my business, Lighten Up and Flourish, all about
Mm.
bringing
Love
joy and
that.
laughter to people. So that really birthed me into this whole new realm of wanting to share laughter and joy with others.
Mm. Isn't that how a lot of us, how it works out for a lot of us? What we find, what tools, what modalities seem to really be helpful for us, we want to share that with the world so that other people can reap the same benefits that we ourselves receive from that. But it's also interesting that you did some experimenting. So everybody can always experiment with different hats, we'll say, try different jobs. It doesn't matter what age you are, it's irrelevant. I know sometimes our society sends us messages that you reach a certain point and forget it, you can't change, you can't do anything different. And I think that's so untrue. Anybody can decide for themselves at any point in their life to take a different direction, put on a new hat, go try something else. And I think that's important for people to remember and to, have that awareness around. Because sometimes we get stuck in these certain ways of thinking and it's hard to break out of them
Yes.
until somebody reminds us that, oh, that's right.
And
I mean,
I'm sorry. The funny thing is, many people were making an assumption I retired. Like when I
mm,
left the corporate world, I went, no,
mm,
that's not even really a word in my vocabulary.
mhm.
And so it's been pretty interesting from that perspective too. The assumptions we make about this is a
Yeah,
phase of your life.
yes,
What comes
exactly.
next?
Exactly. But you and me and many other people I've met in the last couple of years, we are breaking that stereotype and that paradigm. It's not age and the phase of life you're in is just not relevant anymore, especially with the age of the internet and technology. And in my opinion, that has really been helpful. And it's funny that you said that you had to be reminded to use laughter as a tool for yourself.
Yeah. And it's truly that daily decision and practice. Do I laugh every day? Do I not? And I've put together a variety of programs and one I call Laugh for the Health of It.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the key things I talk about in addition to all the core benefits, and we do laughter activities. And I talk about choosing to laugh and laughing on
Mm-hmm.
your
Love
own.
that.
Because the whole idea of choosing to laugh means if we're coming off of that definition of laugh, it's a sound. I can be
Mm-hmm.
doing any routine activity that doesn't take my concentration, and I can be making the sound of ha 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 ha,
Mm-hmm.
or the
Mm-hmm.
actual laughter. And there's the core concept within laughter too, that you can fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Things, but literally your body can take over laughing and supporting your laughter if you just get it started. So examples that we would do as activities could be you're putting dishes away. Make the sound or laugh ha 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 as you're doing these things. Pretend you're putting dishes away.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the
Mm-hmm.
little bit of, brain connection. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
next time I'm putting dishes away, I could think about saying ha 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 ha.
Mm-hmm.
And so that whole idea of choosing to laugh and vacuuming your house, ha 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 ha. Any of these routine things, we can make that sound of laughter. We can choose to laugh anytime to help us boost our mood, help us get out of our head, things like that.
I love that. I love that choosing, making the choice, because life is all about decisions, moment by moment decisions. Do I eat that or do I not eat that? Do I eat that? Do I go here? Do I, do this workout routine? Do I call this? It's like we have these constant micro choices throughout the day, and laughter could be one of them. I know when I first heard about breath work, somebody was like a breath work practitioner. And I thought, like, what the heck? Like, we breathe naturally. Why do we need somebody to help us with breathing? I mean, now I know better, but at the time it was like a whole new thing to me. Like, what does that even mean? But just having this whole laughter practice for yourself and with other people. I love laughing with other people.
Yes.
It's a contagious thing. You see somebody laughing and you start to laugh. And as we said at the beginning, it's a bonder, it's a relationship builder. I've been in groups of people who we had no clue who we were. We were not friends, we didn't know each other, but yet by the end of that session, we had that special bond, that special connection that if we went out in public and happened to see that another person, it'd be like like, oh, I gotcha, I see you. We had that shared experience. So that is really a aspect for me that I absolutely love. It's almost magical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is.
And the fact that your body doesn't know the difference between real or fake laughter. As you said, you just go through the sounds and your body's going to reap the benefits no matter what.
Yes.
And it quickly turns into real laughter, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't take long,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple minutes max, but just hearing people laugh. I have several soundtracks of people laughing, and just listening to that gets me laughing. So yeah. And somebody said recently that, and you can verify or confirm this because I don't really know if it's true, that we're the only animals on the planet that can laugh. Is that something you've ever heard before?
Well, I've heard that animals laugh.
Oh,
I,
really? Okay. Then
yeah.
that person was wrong.
Well, and I think it depends on what we consider a sound that's laughter.
That's true. If you say it, if you use that definition that it's just a sound, you're right.
I saw a video about, oh, what was the name of it? It was a new species of frog. It's a laughing frog. And, I don't know that it was a laugh that I would literally recognize or not. But you can actually probably Google, animals laughing and probably a few different things that come up. You
Yeah,
know,
I did not Google that. I was just like,
yeah.
it just sounded interesting to me. Like, oh, I wonder if that's true. That
Yeah.
might be true. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're probably the only animal on the planet that understands humor and needs.
That I would agree with.
Yes, yes, for sure. And I want to come back to your clown origination point. I love that you did that because that's a pretty courageous step, I think, to put on the whole physical persona of a comic, version of a person. And you really don't see clowns too much anymore, do you? Like, I'm not really exposed to any as I was as a kid, but
I think they've gotten a bad rap.
yeah, though they certainly have. They certainly have.
And just in my experience, when you hire a clown, there's an expectation of performance, kind of what I was
Hmm.
referring to before. And I see the clown more as the slapstick or the humor in the moment. I love the
Hmm.
element of surprise.
Hmm.
For a while, I was going to our pediatric hospital once a month to be able to go room to room to visit with patients. If, I always checked with staff, or would the child and, their parent be comfortable with a clown? Because again,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people are not comfortable. We want to be totally respectful.
Right, right.
So that was really fun. And yet one of the more, even more fun was I would do it right after work. So I took my costume and everything with me, changed in the restroom. And so I'd be walking through some of the hallways
Uh-huh.
and staff wouldn't recognize me.
I
Or
bet
maybe they
not.
would, and the next day we would say something. It's like, wow.
That'd be like Clark Kent putting on his Superman outfit, huh?
Yeah.
And he just had glasses to distinguish him. But you had the whole thing. And is it true that each clown chooses their own name and their own look? Is that true?
Yes, absolutely. It's part of the class. We had to write out who we were, our biography,
Mm, wow.
family, where we came from, what do we believe. So you're totally in costume when,
Wow.
um, and that helps inform the look, the costume,
Mm-hmm.
um, and created that challenge as the clown of if people saw you, you didn't want to break character.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
letting people know that, but yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And when you said you had to check to make sure people were comfortable with a clown, I mean, that's kind of like I've seen kids afraid of clowns. And just like Santa, I think that whole persona of Santa Claus, like taking your kid, sticking it on on the lap of this guy with this, that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
And for adults, it's not. We're like, oh, that's so cute. But for a little one, that could be scary.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so I know, just kind of building off of this, like humor or laughter in hospital settings, there are individuals who do go into hospitals with the intention of sharing the laughter. And so sometimes it might just be a simple red nose or a
Hmm.
little something that would be a surprise element.
Hmm.
Um, they might use, the riddles or humor or other kinds of things to help people lighten up. So it's just really fascinating all the places that clowns or humor can show up in our lives.
And it's almost like a permission slip for those seeing the clown or those coming to a laughter yoga session. It's giving them permission to let their guard down and just have fun. Because outside of that framework, again, we step into that adult role and we might feel too inhibited. Oh, we can't do that. But yet, if we go here into the safe container, then, oh, heck yeah. It's, you know, whatever happens, happens in the laughter circle, which I like to say.
Yeah. It, yeah. I think for many people, it's that if I laugh too much at work, I'm not going to be taken seriously. And again,
No, that's true.
based on culture, gender, any number of
Mhm.
factors. And even like as we're growing up, we're learning there's certain times to laugh and places, and so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also think we kind of get deprogrammed overall from laughter.
Yeah, which is so sad because it's such a powerful practice. And we know it's good for our mind, our body, our soul, our spirit, whatever you want to say. And it's just too bad that we have diminished it, to where we don't feel it's all that important or it's not it's something to be fearful of if somebody sees us laughing or something. And like, yeah, no, I don't care anymore. And it is a muscle. I don't know if you want to speak to that, but it is a muscle. Like we might start off not laughing or not wanting to laugh, but then as we are exposed to it more and we do it more, it does become easier.
Mhm.
And, I like to say I can laugh at the drop of a hat. So if you drop a hat, I'll start laughing, because I've trained myself. So it is a skill, I think, even though it's a sound, a naturally occurring sound, but it is spoken of as a muscle that you can, really amp up as well.
Absolutely. And you can do that just with the laughter itself. You can also develop your sense of humor or a lighthearted spirit by also paying
Yes, yes.
attention to what it is that triggers your laughter. And I ask people, what helps them laugh. And probably 99% of the time, people will say, being with children.
Yeah, oh my, for sure. For sure. Yes.
So the more we can connect with them, and it helps us get in touch with
With
the lighter
our
side
inner,
of life. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
our inner child for sure. But I love that just connecting in with our lighthearted spirit. So even though it's a physical sound we're making, we're connecting and inviting and giving that lighthearted spirit permission to show itself and come out. And it just makes things better. It's just everybody reaps the benefit if even one person having a lighthearted spirit, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree.
And it seems like a fluffy, soft skill or attribute, but I've learned it's not. It's got a lot of power in it. And for those who don't have a lighthearted spirit, like I said, we give them permission to kind of tap into theirs just a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. And it's a vulnerability thing too. What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, a group coming together, there might be a little cautiousness at first, especially when you don't know somebody. Am I really going to laugh or allow
Mhm.
myself to laugh? And yet once, you feel that core sense of trust, um, or just are faking it, and you let the laughter be contagious, that you catch it, or even if you keep faking it, you start to feel the benefits. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's interesting, as were mentioning earlier, that, a fake laugh will turn into a genuine laugh. Well, I also had someone who came to a 30-minute laughter yoga Zoom session, and she didn't tell me until I asked for a testimonial like a year after she was attending regularly every Wednesday night. She said, I faked my way through the whole thing, but I felt so much better that I kept coming
Oh.
back.
Mm.
And when a group laughs regularly together, it really becomes a community,
Yes, it does.
real sense of connection.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, I had a rather large laughter yoga group community in my hometown where I was originally. And as you said, this sadly it kind of dwindles in time because the novelty of it wears off. But the few remaining people that we had, it was just like we could do anything and we would just crack each other up. Like I didn't even have to do hardly anything. We would, it was just such a core, tight group. And we trusted each other. We were so familiar with each other. We knew we were there to laugh. And so we would just feed off of each other, and it was a beautiful thing. It really was.
Yeah, it's really special.
Again, there's that bonding relationship thing. Um, but yeah, I love, and I know we're running out of time here, but when you mentioned children, like there was a time in my extended family where there were no young children. Like, people hadn't had kids. The kids that were there had grown up, that kind of thing. So there was this dry spell of no kids for a number of years. And I just remember holidays, I was like, oh my God, this is so boring. Because like people just weren't high spirited and fun and oh my gosh. And when kids came around, like finally, like, oh yeah, we got some fun young energy again. And just we just sit there and watch them. They're like our entertainment because
Yeah,
they're so fun and they're so spontaneous and they just laugh for the heck of it. No reason to laugh. I love when my grandkids just laugh and laugh and laugh and they just keep on going for a really extended period of time. Oh, that is just so heartwarming. So, yes, children lead us in that, don't they?
absolutely do. Yes, indeed.
I love it. Just thinking about it makes me smile really well. And just smiling. I
Yeah,
mean, even if you don't bust into a full force laugh, just getting your mouth into that positioning is a good starting point.
absolutely. I've heard that when you laugh or when you smile for at least 20 seconds, there's like three feel-good hormones that start
Mhm.
getting activated in your body. When you laugh, you get four instead of three.
Mm.
So you
Oh, okay. I
get
didn't
oxytocin.
never heard that before. So you get a little extra added boost when you add the sound in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love talking about laughter and I love laughing with people. And if somebody wanted to reach out to you, Christine, is there a way to do that?
Yes. I have a website. It's lightenupandflourish.com. All the words written out. Um, I'd be happy to share my phone number. It's area code 303-919-2386. My email is also an easy connection through the website or info@lightenupandflourish.com.
And we will put all that information in the video description.
Thank you.
So, and may I share that you have a weekly online laughter session that's an ongoing? Anybody can attend that?
Yes, it is on Zoom Wednesdays, 7:30 Eastern Time. It's 30 minutes. Don't have to RSVP. You just jump on the call. You just need to initially contact me to get the Zoom link because that's not published. And once you get that, you can just show up anytime.
Yeah, it's great fun. Absolutely love it. And I started doing my own online sessions. They're once a month though, and they're the beginning of the month. And yeah, I can certainly put something in the show notes, the description for that. But so much fun. And we do attend, we have attended each other's laughter sessions. It's so fun. So thank you so much. We so appreciate you being here. Thank you for bringing laughter to the world and to yourself, because I know that was important for you to have that practice for yourself. And anybody can do a daily laughter practice. I've been doing it in my car between here and town. I set that intention, make the choice to laugh as I'm driving into town. But I have
Yes.
to like kind of plan it, 'cause sometimes I forget. So anybody can plan to insert laughter in the course of their day. And there's different ways of doing that. You can check on YouTube. There's people out there that post their laughing on YouTube. So I'm going to invite everybody to check out Christine, check out laughter yoga in general. There's lots of online information and find somebody you can laugh with or just laugh yourself. Okay, my friends, thank you so much. Christine, thank you so much. So appreciate you and honor you. And we will see everybody next time. Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.